All right, continuing on with plotting numbers on a number line. Now that I have all my number lines created, I can do the bottom down here that says graph the following decimals on every number line possible. It says possible because you'll see as we do these examples that some of these numbers cannot be plotted on these number lines because they're not looking at that portion of the number line. So I will color code everything so that I don't have to mess up the page with all these numbers written down. So if you have 4 different colored pencils or markers or crayons, you can use those, or just different colored pens. Otherwise, make sure that you put the dot and then you either write the number above or below if you don't have different colors. Alright, so the first number we'll plot is 3.728, which is 3 and 728 thousandths. Since this number goes out to the thousandths place, I'm going to start on the number line where I can actually see that number. So I know I need to look at this bottom one because this goes to the thousandths place. So I'll find 3.728, which is right there, and I'll put a point. Now that I have that easy one graphed, I can use this number line to help me graph it on this number line. Because remember, it says I have to graph it on every number line possible. So what I'll do is, to figure out where it should go on this number line, I'm picturing this in my head. So I know it's between 3.72 and 3.73. So I'm looking at this section right in here. Now I've got to be a little bit more specific than that because there's a lot of room in here. I've got to figure out where it should go. So I notice it's not halfway. It's closer to 3.7. Okay, so if I'm looking halfway at 3.725, I can see that it will be a little bit closer to 3.73. So I want to go right about here to plot that point. Now that I have it on this number line, I can use this number line to help me plot it here because I know I'm looking between 3.70 and 3.80, which would be right here. Again, I'm going to look at this and break it down. So here's halfway. 3.75 would be halfway between. I can see now where it is between 3.7 and 3.75 to help me plot this point. So it's not halfway. It's going to be right about here when I plot 3.728. And see how I'm visualizing where this is? I'm thinking of this number line as I plot it right here. And just like I did for all these, now I can use this number line to help me up here because I know it's between 3 and 4. So I'm looking right here between 3 and 4. Again, it's not halfway. It's going to be closer to 4. So I'll find that halfway mark and I'm going to go about halfway in between that, which would be right about there. So now I have 3.728 plotted on every number line possible. So let me clean this up so that we can graph the next one without getting confused with our old notes. Alright, so I'll keep that one on there. I'll just switch colors and now we will plot 3.6. So first, like I did with the first one, I want to figure out where is it going to be easiest to plot this. So I can see it ends in the tenths position. So I want to look at this number line here because I can quickly find 3.6. I know it should go exactly right there. Now that I have 3.6 there, I can use this number line to help me visualize it on this one. So I know it'll be between 3 and 4, which is right here. If I'm looking, it's about, so here's 3.5. That's exactly halfway. It's almost exactly halfway. It's a little closer to 4, but it'll be very hard to be precise. So I'm finding what I think is the halfway mark. I'm going to go just a little closer to 4, and I'll put 3.6 right there. Now I've got to check if I can plot this on any other number line. Well, this number line goes from 3.7 to 3.8, which was this section right here. So I can see 3.6 will not be on this number line. And since this is zoomed in even further, I know that it will not be on that number line either. So I'm done with 3.6. So let me clean this up. And I'll switch colors again. And now we'll graph 3.79. So this goes to the hundredths place, so I'm looking at this one right here because I can quickly find 3.79 and be exact with it. And now I can use this to help me plot it here. I know it's between 3.7 and 3.8, so I'm looking right in here. I can see it's really close to 3.8, so I'm going to go right next to 3.8 and get it as close as possible without being right on it. So I'll put that right about there. And then I can use this one to help me graph up here because I know it's between 3 and 4, so I'm looking in here and I can see, now look, I'm using the other colors to help me. I know it's going to be to the right of the pink color that I already had. It'll be really close to 4. So they'll overlap a bit because keep in mind this is a very small space, so I'm trying to get that green one right about there, and you could still see that pink one a little bit in there. And then let's just check, can I fit 3.79 on this number line down here? So what I was zooming in on was 3.72 to 3.73 down here, and I can see 3.79 is way out here, so it's not on this number line, so I'm done with that one. So now for our last number, find one more new color, and we'll do 3.721. So find the easiest one. This is the thousandth, so I'll start with this one. 3.721 would be right there. I can find it exactly. Now I can use this one to help me up here. I know it's between 3.72 and 3.73, which will be this section right here. And I can see it's really close to 3.72, so again I want to go real close to 3.72 without being right on it. So I did overlap it a little, that's okay, but I'm not right on 3.72. So now I'll use this one to help me up here. I know it's between 3.7 and 3.8. Again, I'll use the colors to help me. I see that it's left of the pink, so it'll be real close to 3.7. Again, not right on it, and my pink and my gray will overlap a little because they're so close to each other. And then on the last one up here, I know it'll be between 3 and 4. And look where it's at. The gray is between the blue and the pink. Okay? It's right by 3.7. So I'm going to go right in here, and it'll overlap. I hope none of my colors disappear, but I'm right between the blue and the pink right there. Okay, now I got that on all 4 number lines, so I'm done with that one. And what you can see is all those numbers, if I look at this top number line, see how close they all are together? But as I start zooming in, they start spreading out and getting farther apart because I'm zooming in on that section of the number line, so it's a little easier to see. So that's all for plotting numbers on a number line. Bye everyone.